Good afternoon. Hello, hello. Welcome to the 2024 Chevron Benefits Open Enrollment Webinar. My name's Chris Rawson, my colleague Bryan. We are going to present you information on the full suite of Chevron benefits, as well as a few specific areas that are important for you to be aware of in terms of taking action. So let me share my screen and start with the highlight of the health insurance. So you have three health insurance plans to consider: the high deductible basic, the regular high deductible, as well as the medical PPO. The wellness credit applies to all three plans, and you would see up to a premium reduction of $750 annually in qualifying for this wellness credit. For the high deductible plan, Chevron will contribute to the health savings account. That account is with Benefit Wallet, and you see these numbers here: $500, $750, up to $1,000 for the family plan. What we're going to do now, we prepared a report, and Brian's going to walk us through the analysis here.
Okay. So thank you. So this is a more detailed look at your various health plans. This chart here includes the premium, and just the case note that it's assuming you qualify for the wellness premium. So this premium here is on an annual basis. And as you go on across, it'll also show deductibles and HSA contributions, as well as out-of-pocket max. One of the differentiators between the PPO and the high deductible plan is the fact that there is a separate deductible for prescriptions under the PPO plan, where under the high deductible plans, prescriptions, medical doctor costs, everything else is under one umbrella deductible. If you go over to the far right, it looks at the maximal potential cost of each of the plans. So that will take into account your premium, your out-of-pocket maxes, so whether it's prescription or just one max deductible or out-of-pocket expense, as well as any HSA contributions that would be considered, that's a company benefit that they provide you. So any of the out-of-pocket would be deducted, would be less that amount that the HSA is provided by the company.
Mm-hmm.
In a nutshell, really the high deductible plan, as you can see on the far right, max potential cost, the regular high deductible plan will be the most cost-effective plan for most individuals and families on all three scenarios, whether it's employee only, employee plus one adult or a child, or a family. So if you look at compare those numbers across each specific category, the max potential cost for the high deductible plan would be lower than either the high deductible basic plan or the medical PPO plan. There's only one caveat that we know of where the medical PPO plan may serve to be a cost, from a cost perspective, beneficial for an employee and their family, is because of the separate prescription deductible. If there is a household that has high prescription costs, but yet has low medical costs as far as doctor visits and specialists and everything else, because of that high, the separate prescription deductible, that's lower than the out-of-pocket and out-of-pocket max, that's lower than the combined one that you find in the high deductible plan. That would be the only situation where the PPO may benefit somebody from a cost perspective. And what we did over here on the far left, we took a quick look. So hypothetically speaking, say there's a individual or a family that has a $1,000 a month prescription cost, but otherwise has regular or no medical costs. That out of pocket, that maximum, which includes the wellness premium as well as the prescription max, would be about $7,758 a year. So if you looked at that same scenario under a high deductible plan, because of the fact that there is a high combined deductible, that potential cost differential would be about $1,300 through just over $1,368 if somebody had high prescription costs but yet had low medical costs otherwise. So that's really the only thing that we can see as far as being advantageous from the PPO plan. Otherwise, folks would be better served from a financial situation from the high deductible plan.
Yep.
Moving on further down, just kind of a couple of things of note. The HSA limits for 2024 for individuals is $4,150, and that includes the company contributions. So if you're an individual, taking into account the $500 that the company gives, you would be able to contribute $3,650 on your own. And then likewise from the family, the limit is $8,300 for 2024. And then your contribution would be $7,300 maximum, taking into account that the company gives you $1,000 towards that. For those that are age 55 or older, the HSA also offers up a $1,000 catch-up contribution. So if you're age 55 and older and have your family covered under the high deductible plan, you can contribute up to $9,300 total in all contributions, or $8,300 from an individual perspective, taking into account what Chevron gives you. Also, if your spouse is age 55 or over and covered under that same family plan, they can also set up a separate HSA under the spouse's name and contribute that $1,000. So if you're needing to maximize your pre-tax deductions and otherwise don't need the money, your spouse could also do that if they're age 55 and older. Mm-hmm. And one other thing that we like to note is while you can take the HSA contributions, your contributions through payroll throughout the year, you may want to consider funding it out of your own pocket to the max earlier in the year as a lump sum. That way the HSA is funded earlier should you have any medical costs that you want to reimburse from that account. Or if you're investing those funds would be available for investing sooner in the year. So that's just something to consider. The HSA, if you do it out of your pocket, you would take into account that those funds would go on a pre-tax basis, and that would be taken into account within your 2024 tax return.
Mm-hmm. Tax deductible either way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, beautiful. If you have any questions about your specific situation, let us know, and we can talk more about your specific plan. So you'll receive this document as part of the email. The high deductible basic has a higher deductible and higher out-of-pocket max. So if you're looking at the high deductible plan, likely you wouldn't take the basic. We chatted about there's maybe one scenario where this might make sense, but not likely. Medical PPO provides you automatic enrollment into the prescription drug plan. Within the medical PPO plan, you also have access to the healthcare spending account, so you can contribute to this type of account. This is a use it or lose it plan. So similarly, if you have prescriptions, you can use this plan and pay for your prescriptions with the pre-tax funds. Second opinion service is required for all three of these plans if you were to have knee, hip, back, or spine surgery. Well, you cannot do it, but it's going to cost you another $400 if you do not get a second opinion service. So if you or anyone you know needs this type of surgery, you can give them the reminder that they need to get this second opinion service completed. Virtual health visits apply to all plans, and you need to register beforehand. So we include the link here, livehealthonline.com. For those of you who have younger kids, daycare, summer camp programs during the summer when they're out of school, you can fund these with a daycare spending account, up to $5,000 for next year. Similarly, this is a use it or lose it plan, meaning you have to incur the expenses between January 1st and December 31st. You have until June 30th the following year to file and get that reimbursement. So you'll want to plan out, what does the summer look like? What camps are we going to be doing? And you can pay for those programs on a pre-tax basis as well. Okay. Additional coverage, you've got dental, vision, great plans here, life and accident insurance. Basic coverage is going to be 2 times your annual pay. This is a very interesting, maybe lesser known benefit. Funeral planning services are included, and grief counseling is included. So this is obviously a very tough situation, and there are additional benefits to be aware of. With the Chevron supplemental life insurance plan, you also have access to will preparation. So for those of you listening now who have the supplemental life insurance and you need a will, go ahead and take advantage of this. If you're feeling like you need additional life insurance, certainly it's available to you here. Short-term disability is paid for by the company. You're going to get 6 months of full pay, and then after that, you move on to the second 26 weeks, or the second 6 months at half pay. From there, it kicks into your long-term disability. Your long-term disability has a waiting period of 6 months, and they're only going to provide the 50% of your annualized pay. So you need to take this optional coverage, which will top you up an additional 60% of your annualized pay. A sickness or an injury is the number one roadblock to any person's financial plan. So we highly recommend taking the long-term disability. Additionally, for those of you who qualify for the benefit restoration plan, what that means is that you make more than $330,000 with your salary and bonus. And so there's additional long-term disability coverage available to you because you qualify for the benefit restoration plan. And you have to take the optional long-term disability in order to qualify for this. So for all the families that we work with, we suggest both the long-term disability optional as well as the long-term disability restoration plan in taking that. Okay, this is the next key highlight, which is the 401k. Rather than read these bullet points to you, what I'm going to do is demonstrate using our calculator how this works and how you can maximize your savings both on a pre-tax and on the after-tax supplemental converting to the Roth IRA. A couple assumptions need to be made here. First, the salary goes here. In this situation, the person's salary is $250,000 a year. We additionally have to estimate what we think the bonus will be. In this situation, we're assuming a bonus of $100,000. This person is making, in this situation, $350,000. Within our worksheet on the bottom, in this example, the person's over age 50. There are people who are younger than age 50 who make less than $330,000, people who are younger than 50 who make more than $330,000. If you have questions about your personal situation, let us know, and we'd be happy to chat with you about your strategy. What's important to know is that in the 401k, their IRC stands for Internal Revenue Code. There is a limit that can be deposited into the ESIP plus the catch-up. So that number is 66,000 plus 7,500. The company's going to match the 8%. So and you only need to do 2% pre-tax basic in order to get that 8%. So the other piece that's important to recognize is that 8% is up to the 330,000, which is why for people who have the benefit restoration plan, which is why you have that, because the 8% caps out. So that number is 26,400. The individual, you can save 30,500 for next year, which is a 23,500 plus 7,500 catch-up. Okay, you're going to do the 2% basic. So 2% basic based on your assumed salary and bonus translates to $7,000 per year. So the net pre-tax supplemental, which is the next input you're going to make, is this number here, 23.5. So that specifically translates to 7%. You'll put that when you log into net benefits. So what's left? Net after-tax supplemental. This is what you can deposit and also convert to your Roth IRA using the right strategy. So how much can we do here? Well, in this situation, again, it has to be topped up before your income crosses the 330,000 mark. So in this example, the person would elect after-tax supplemental of 5%, but this strategy requires maintenance, meaning you receive your bonus in March. We don't know if it's going to be exactly 100,000 or not, but you would start the beginning of 2024 with the 7% pre-tax supplemental and the 5% after-tax supplemental. When you get to the beginning of April, you pull your pay stub, you pull your deposits into the Fidelity 401k to see where you've landed, and then you make that adjustment. And this is something that we do for all of the families that we work with at Chevron. And so if you'd like to have this conversation as it relates to your own savings and planning, then we'd be happy to do so. Okay. Let me turn it back over to Bryan to review the rest of what we have mapped out. So again, you're going to receive this document, and this is a bullet point version of everything I just mentioned on that calculator, the Excel file. So having said that, Bryan, let me turn it back over to you.
So as Chris referenced in the ESIP presentation, the retirement restoration plan is available for those that are above the IRC limit, which was 330,000 in 2023, which those numbers will be released here sometime here in the upcoming months for 2024. Also, there's the Chevron pension plan, or the Chevron retirement plan, the pension, which becomes vested after 5 years of service. So we work with families on looking at that and looking at the various modeling on when to take that, when may be the best time to take it, how to take it, because there's a extensive modeling tool that Chevron provides to employees to take a look at that pension. We've also got the Chevron incentive plan, i.e. the bonus. And then there's a host of other benefits available to you as employees. So you got mental health, diabetes prevention, lots of family care, not only for your immediate family, but for extended family care. So just kind of highlighting some things that folks may not be aware of in that whole suite of benefits that Chevron offers. You've got family support for fertility, other services to parents, childcare resources, as far as founding nannies, dependent care for folks, surrogacy, adoption, fertility, a lot of services available to folks. It may not apply to everybody, but just make sure you know they're there. They also offer some group and home discount, auto and home discount insurance programs, long-term care insurance. And then just another last note for this, a lot of these programs, especially when we get into this programs, there's lots of different sites. They require their own login and password. So as we like to recommend is trying to use a password manager that would help you and your family, your spouse to manage those passwords amongst your family.
Well, good. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening all the way through to our presentation. We are honored to work for all the families that we do at Chevron. And if you know someone who may be interested in this material and may want to chat about their planning, we'd be similarly honored to chat with them as well and see if we can complement what they've done so far. So looking forward to another great year in 2024. And thanks again. Talk to you later.